We are the anchors of Queer News Tonight, and this evening we will discuss the queer headlines. Celebrate 40 years of Hotspots with It's a Summer of Gay edition featuring the White Fort Lauderdale Festival, interviews, and the very best of the LGBTQ plus South Florida.
Tomorrow, Laverne Cox joins Stonewall National Museum's exhibit honoring LGBTQ plus pioneers. There are things to do, screening and panel discussion follow.
The documentary Spacey Unmasked reveals new sexual assault allegations against Kevin Spacey spanning decades.
In the historic decision, the Methodist overturns gay clergy and same-sex marriage bans.
President Biden awarded Judy Shepard the Presidential Medal of Freedom for her pivotal role in the LGBTQ plus advocacy.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Queer News Tonight. This is the world's first and only LGBTQ plus daily evening television news, broadcasting live and then available on demand. Available on all smart televisions, including Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, Amazon Fire TV, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. It's time to queer up the news for Monday, May 6, 2024. We are live and literally out of the closet and into the headlines. So many of your important stories we're going to tell this evening on Queer News Tonight.
This is the world's first live daily LGBTQ evening news show, literally out of the closet and into the headlines on Queer News Tonight.
This is the world's first and only unedited live LGBTQ plus evening news show. Whatever happens unique in LGBTQ plus news, you will see it and hear it.
Hotspots Magazine, Happening Out Television Network, is a nonprofit 501c3 media company in the same model of PBS and NPR, but designed for the LGBTQ plus community. Our mission is to support the 11 pillars of our LGBTQ plus community. We want to inform and educate the key issues of our queer culture, the Black community, Latino, lesbians and queer women, trans, students and youth, seniors, HIV and AIDS healthcare, business, social justice, and faith. Help us support our community.
We are part of one of the largest LGBTQ plus nonprofit media companies in America, Hotspots Magazine and Happening Out Television Network.
In 2024, our magazine is celebrating 40 years of the LGBTQ plus experience, and our television news, talk, and entertainment show supports our mission to educate the LGBTQ plus and broader community.
That's right, and let's meet tonight's anchors at Queer News Tonight. We'll begin with my brother from another mother. I call him Dino Mosquera. His mom calls him that too, so it's okay. He joined the Miami Gay and Lesbian Film Festival in the late 90s and now serves on the Outshine Film Festival's board of directors. Dino, a fun event is coming to the Manor called Dancing with the South Florida Stars on May 13th, and it will support Wilton Manor Stonewall Pride. Tell me what's happening.
That's exactly right. Yeah, on Monday, May 13th, Dancing with the South Florida Stars is coming to Fort Lauderdale, and this is a competition. This is pretty fun. 8 teams compete in talent shows benefiting Stonewall Pride. Tony Lima is one of the teams. Velvet Lenore is another one. So they all perform. It's fun. It's a dinner and also entertainment. So come and join. And
listen, people better watch out. Tony just got both his hips fixed. So he's going to break it down. Him and Velvet might just win. Get your tickets to watch. This is going to be a fantastic night at the Manor, Dancing with the South Florida Stars. Next up, let's welcome Edward Zielke. Wait, let's welcome Otto Zielke.
Oh,
yes, I'm going to get that in there, all right? I love Abuelo Otto. Did you ever see that movie? That movie was incredible. I love that movie.
Well, I was named after my grandfather, so I always like to try to honor him with that.
Well, we love your grandfather already, all right? Edward Otto Zielke, from a successful career in financial marketing to his current role as the Director of Marketing and Sponsorship for the incredible Gay Men's Chorus of South Florida. Edward's journey is marked by so many accolades and achievements. The Gay Men's Chorus of South Florida is one of the world's largest and most important LGBTQ plus cultural arts organizations. Edward, so the Gay Men's Chorus of South Florida will be heading to the Miami Marlins Pride at the park to celebrate Pride Month on May 31st. 1st. Tell me what's happening.
Yes, it's really exciting. You know, we have our outreach team that's going down to the Marlins. It's going to be singing the national anthem. It's so great that, you know, we get to have some good representation in our sports here in Florida. You know, we sing at the Dolphins game, the Heat game, and the Florida Panthers. It's so great. Also happening this next month for us too is our Pride concert. It's called Pride Then, Now and Forever. It's Saturday, June 29th at the Parker, and you can get your tickets at gmcsf.org.
Definitely want to go to that. That's the music from 70s, 80s, and 90s,
yes,
right?
It's a multicultural generation celebration type of an event. You'll be hearing things like from ABBA. You'll hear I'm Coming Out. You'll hear Cher's Believe we're going to be singing. So there's just a little bit for every generation. You're hearing a little bit of music for everything. So it's going to be fantastic.
Thank you, Edward. Next up, let's welcome Jason Gad, a Florida native who moved to the state as a child. He holds an undergraduate degree from the University of Florida and a law degree from Nova. Jason dedicated 22 years of his career in tech. He's an active member of South Florida's most important LGBTQ plus political organization, the Dolphin Democrats, serving as treasurer. Jason, the Dolphin Dems is our watch at the gate for LGBTQ plus social justice, and they're holding their annual gala coming up on May 18th. Tell me what's happening.
All right. Thank you so much for inviting me, Faye, and it's great to be here. So on the 18th, we do have our annual gala. It's our 42nd anniversary gala. For anybody who's not familiar with the Dolphin Dems, we are the largest Democratic caucus in Broward County, which is the largest stronghold of Democrats in the state of Florida. And it's vital that we succeed if we're ever going to make a change in the state. And so we've got over 160 people coming so far, and we anticipate having over 200 in attendance this year. So anybody who's interested, by all means, be sure to visit the dolphindems.org website and sign up to join us for the upcoming gala. We'd love to see you there.
And you're honoring Nick Harris, Chris Caputo, the incredible Miss Mackenzie. You've got some incredible people that you're going to be honoring at this year's gala. Get your tickets today. That's going to be an awesome night. Next up, let's welcome Jacqueline Lorber. I'm so happy to have her. Yay, another lesbian. All right, let me get myself.
I'm
Roll.
putting up the very important
Roll.
sign.
We match.
There we go.
We match.
All right.
That is not for loser. All right. So she is the CEO and president of the South Florida Symphony Orchestra, where her wife is the music director, and she does an incredible job of it. With a track record of raising over $50 million for nonprofits, she was honored from the Outshine Film Festival for her impactful contributions to the arts. The South Florida Symphony is one of America's most recognized orchestras. Jacqueline, the South Florida Symphony is bringing a classical mystery tour with a tribute to the freaking Beatles on May 11th. Tell me what's happening.
Well, you know, 60 years, they came here to the Deauville on Miami Beach, and we are doing it up. Everybody's going to be in costume. It's going to be a great time. And these four guys that come to the show and participate with the orchestra really have the whole Beatles experience down note by note by note. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And you can get your tickets at the Broward Center, of course. And then we have coming up our summer chamber music series, Summer with the Symphony. It happens in two places, at the Center for Spiritual Living and in Coral Gables, and in Miami at Temple Israel, which you know, because that's where Unity is.
Yeah.
We share that. And then talked about ABBA with Edward. We're going to be doing ABBA in the fall, and that's going to be pretty exciting. And some flamenco dance in the middle of the hot summer.
All right. All right.
Wonderful time for everybody. So we're happening, and subscriptions, renewals, and kicking it. Every single one of our shows last year sold out. And so get your subscriptions now.
Awesome. Thank you, Jacqueline.
And of course, this is tonight's lead anchor, FayWhat. She is legendary.
Say it right, but it's okay.
FayWhat?
Thank you.
She is a legendary events host, television and radio personality, and the host of the FayWhat show on Mondays. Faye, Unity on the Bay is one of nearly 200 teams for the NAMI Walk for Mental Health being held at the Miami Zoo on May 18. Tell me what's going on.
Yes, so my beautiful church, my beautiful queer church, Unity on the Bay, is proud to sponsor NAMI Walks, Miami-Dade 2024. Show your support by walking a 5K. It's only 3 miles, all right? You can do that with your eyes closed with Team Unity on the Bay on Saturday, May 18th at the Miami Zoo. NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, is a vital organization providing free mental health support, resources, and education to countless individuals and families facing mental illness. Join us in supporting this important cause. NAMI Walks Miami-Dade is a 5K walk raising funds to continue these critical services within Miami-Dade County. Sign up to walk with Team Unity on the Bay Saturday, May 18th at Miami Zoo. UnityOnTheBay.org for all the information. And we are the reporters for Queer News Tonight. And this evening, we begin with the queer headlines. The LGBTQ plus community in South Florida and across America is diverse. Our community across the world is vast. And here are the bullet points of the queer news for today, Monday, May 6, 2024. We'll begin this evening by queering up South Florida and Florida. Hotspots Magazine kicks off a Summer of Gay on stands Thursday, May 9th. Hotspots is celebrating 40 years with the new issue on stands Thursday. The magazine is part of Hotspots Happening Out, the largest nonprofit LGBTQ plus media group in America. This new issue is a special one, a Summer of Gay issue. The issue has several interesting features, including features like the White Fort Lauderdale Festival, which will take place May 24th through May 27th. How about a special feature of this issue is an interview with gay psychic medium Roy Tomko on life, love, and the in-between by Ben Nelson. International Tourism Boussier's Diversity Awards honors Richard Gray with ITB LGBTQ Plus Pioneer of the Year Award. The new issue has everything you want to know about this honor. Mr. is the largest telemedicine provider offering free online PrEP and long-term HIV care in all 50 states. Now it is prescribing Doxypep too. The magazine has covered this in detail all for you. The longtime LGBTQ plus ally and comedian Kathy Griffin is coming back to Fort Lauderdale May 15th. Chris Azzopardi has talked in length with her for Hotspots Magazine, just for you in this edition. Talking about exciting interviews, Larry Alston talks to Johnny McGovern about Hey Queen and his new weekly podcast show with RuPaul's World of Wonder called Johnny McGovern is Gay AF. Apart from the above-mentioned features, the new issue also has This Month in LGBT History, Hot Puzzles, and Hot Eats. There is Jimmy Newsom's feature covering prominent indie gay musicians and new releases this spring. Last but definitely not least, Scott Holland has covered everything you need to know about the upcoming Dancing with the South Florida Stars on May 13th. So grab your free copy of Hotspots Magazine on Thursday or you might miss all the fun. There is so much going on in South Florida, right? And this issue just shows us exactly that. Kathy Griffin is back. I mean, do you remember when she had the severed head and she was canceled and nobody wanted to see her anymore? I wanted to see her. Her voice has changed and everything since last time she was with us, you know?
Big time.
Big time.
Big time. Yeah, now she's divorced too.
Also, she'll have a lot more material with a different voice and without a boo.
That's right. Is she still in the D list? Wasn't she in the D list?
I think she was born on the D list.
Right.
Trademarks herself on the D list.
Yeah, but she sounds so different now.
She does have, didn't she have some kind of illness or something like that,
did,
right? That kind of took her down. That was some brujeria that they did to her. That's what I'm saying.
I'll tell you, she went through a lot.
A lot, yeah.
She really did. I mean, just to have everybody, the focus on her and on that, that stunt that she did. I mean, the rest of the world, I feel like, didn't even really care about it, but it was just so focused. It just really made me angry.
Typical faux outrage.
Yeah.
Cancel culture.
Yeah.
That's totally, and yeah, I mean, just because it was Donald Trump, I guess. That she was mocking.
What?
I mean, it's just outrageous because we see so much worse.
Well, and he can do
these days.
He could do something
and he's done it all his career to all these women. And no consequence, but then Kathy Griffin paid a price.
Well, but now she's back, and she's back with a vengeance. And the gays love her. We love Kathy Griffin, all right? And especially down here in South Florida. So I have a feeling that that's going to be a packed house, right, that night to see Kathy Griffin. I'm also looking forward to White Fort Lauderdale. Okay, not everybody looks good in white. I got to start losing weight just for that party. But May 24th through 27th at the Manor is their 26th annual, okay? I mean, this party gets crazy, especially the last day. And they have DJ Abel. They have Nina Flowers. You love Nina Flowers.
God, I do.
I love me some Nina Flowers. And Miss Vanjie is also going to be there.
No.
Yes.
And now she's on the All-Star season of RuPaul's Drag Race. So it's going to be running as she's coming to visit. So, hey.
Yep. So grab your copy. Grab your copy on stands Thursday, the new Hotspots magazine.
Next, let's queer up the USA view. Laverne Cox at Stonewall National Museum exhibit for There Are Things to Do on May 7th. The Stonewall National Museum, Archives, and Library is celebrating the achievements of the Emmy Award-winning trans actress Laverne Cox as she becomes a part of the Standing on the Shoulders of Heroes exhibition. This exhibition from Fort Lauderdale's Stonewall National Museum connects the LGBTQ+ past to the present, honoring the courage of those who paved the way for us to live authentically and openly, and fostering hope and ongoing progress. The traveling exhibition arrives at the City College of New York alongside the May 7th screening of There Are Things to Do. The venue is set at CUNY School of Labor and Urban Studies, featuring There Are Things to Do panel discussion with the filmmaker Mike Sayers and esteemed LGBTQ+ activist and actress Laverne Cox. Filmmaker Mike Sayers' documentary There Are Things to Do about Indian-born American LGBTQ+ activist Urvashi Ved. After the screening, Sayers will join the stage alongside the recipients of CCNY's first ever Colin Powell School for Civic and Global Leadership, Urvashi Ved Award for LGBTQ+ Advocacy. Chantal Rodriguez, a current student at CCNY, and Blaise Lavaro, an alum of CCNY. The event will feature notable addresses from Robert Keston, the executive director of Stonewall National Museum and Archives, and Andrew Rich, the dean of CCNY's Colin Powell School, endowed by Richard J. Henley and Susan L. Davis. It's so great that, she's getting honored for all of her achievements. And, I remember seeing her when I first was subscribing to Netflix, and I watched The Orange is the New Black, and I thought, wow, this is such an amazing character and amazing actress playing her. Yeah. And just to learn more about her through that just really made me very endearing to her.
She was very brave.
Really, very brave.
Very brave.
And that's so part about being a trailblazer. It's just taking that first step in that door by yourself.
And she's an incredible addition to this exhibition.
Yes.
Robert Keston is one of our anchors here at Queer News Tonight. He always sits right where Jacqueline is sitting, and right there at that table, at that chair, he was telling us how excited he was about this exhibit because it was traveling around the country.
Yeah.
It started here, and he added Diana Nyad to the exhibition, on the shoulders that we stand on. And, now he's added Laverne Cox, which is just an incredible addition, Laverne Cox has a twin brother, she always talks about their upbringing, their journey, her trans experience, her lived experience, I don't love her on the red carpet at the Oscars. Don't kill me.
I actually did.
Don't kill me.
I actually did.
But I love her and everything else that she does, you know, and I think she's a wonderful addition.
Yeah, she's branching out, which is great. It's giving visibility to the trans community and, showing that they can do many different things. And she's an activist. She's brave, like you said, and she's doing it all right, in my book.
And looking hot as hell.
And looking amazing. She's looking great, and she's doing it right. And I actually like her, her interviews on the red carpet. Maybe you're better than her.
You said it, not me.
I'm sure you are.
Oh, no.
And I wouldn't doubt it. But she actually did a good job. Actually, I was very impressed. For the first time, she's doing it for the first time. I don't think she's done it before. So it's actually pretty good. I thought it was very good.
What do you think about something like this? Just saying that, this exhibit is traveling all around the country. Pride Month is just about to be here. He's literally he's traveling the country with a piece of the Stonewall, also the Stonewall bar in New York City, and that's all going to come full circle when he's going to come back to South Florida in a couple months. How important is something like this during an election year?
Wow. It really is incredibly poignant. It draws attention to the things that we all really care about, right? Because it reminds us where we were, how much progress we've made, and yet somehow we always feel like we're still under attack, because we are. But it does remind us that progress can be made. It's a slog, but we can make it.
I love that. that.
And people don't necessarily know about Stonewall. It was a big thing for me when I first came out to go to New York and see it and just experience it. When I mention it to sometimes younger people, they don't have any awareness of it. So anytime we can create awareness, it is important.
We gotta turn it into the gay Wailing Wall.
Oh,
right? Put a little prayer on a slip of paper,
You put it
slip it in between the bricks, right?
I know where you got that from.
All right. Love it.
That's it.
But a great idea, though. I'm just saying.
Thank you.
All
Dino,
right.
what's next?
Yeah, next, let's square up entertainment. New documentary Spacey Unmasked reveals 9 more men alleging Kevin Spacey of sexual assault. Gay actor Kevin Spacey faces accusations of sexual assault from 9 more men who are featured in the documentary Spacey Unmasked, which premiered today. According to The Hollywood Reporter, the accusers claim that the allegedly assaults spanned 5 decades, from Spacey's high school years to the peak of his career, predating the initial allegations of multiple sexual assaults against him in October 2017. Spacey has not been convicted of sexual assaults in any U.S. or U.K. court. In the documentary, one of the individuals who made allegations was an aspiring actor. He claimed that Spacey masturbated in front of him in a public theater and then moved his hand towards his groin to assist. Another accusation was made by an ex-Marine who stated that Spacey forced himself onto him at a party that actor Bruce Willis had thrown. The majority of individuals featured in the documentary assert that Spacey offered them help in advancing their careers only to subsequently demand sexual favors. Some individuals mentioned they chose not to publicly accuse Spacey at the time of the alleged assaults because Spacey was still in the closet and such allegations will have involuntarily outed him. In response to the documentary, Spacey shared a post on Twitter saying, quote, "I will not sit back and be attacked by a dying network's one-sided documentary about me in their desperate attempt for ratings," end of quote. This is, one of those saga that continues. And then he's such a great actor. Let's start with that. He's a great actor, but, we have made public and we have discussed in the show things that also, affect other people. And we also have to report on things that affect our community. And he's no exception. So, these accusations are very damning and he's part of that cancel culture and deservedly so. He's going through this and, it's unfortunate to see a guy that brilliant and such a brilliant actor, 2-time Oscar winner, and just throwing it all out.
Okay, it don't matter who you are, you still can't do shit like that, okay? Right. You and Shangela, both of you need like despojo, you need like a cleaning or something, all right? There's just too much going on. I mean, the reality is, okay, Kaiser Soze was one of my favorite, parts of a movie in life, right? That's Kevin Spacey, right?
American Beauty.
American Beauty. I mean, we can go on and on, gifted actor, but if he did these things, then he should pay the price, right? And like you said, a long saga, the guy from Rent, Anthony Rapp.
Anthony Rapp was the one that brought the accusation.
He was the initial one,
That's
right? And a jury found him not guilty of molesting him, I believe 2 years ago. So here we are now with more men coming out.
And the UK, the trial in the UK also found him not liable, I guess. But this continues. I mean, this is not the end of it. And accusations continue, 9 more men. So you can tell, I mean, Anthony Rapp, the most known, and initially brought this out. I mean, on top of the Me Too movement, which also affected us. And, but again, this is to be continued.
Yeah.
Where does the truth lie?
It's really upsetting. Let's assume for a moment the accusations are accurate. This is a man who's good looking. This is a man who I would imagine didn't have a hard time getting a date, right? And so if these allegations are true, think about the chutzpah it takes to manipulate people that are clearly powerless against you, who really are aspiring to have careers as incredible as his, and then to use that power, to weaponize that power. That's what's just so infuriating about it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Harvey Weinstein, the same. I mean, it's no difference. I mean, it's no different. And the position of power.
The position of power.
The position of power.
And the enablers around them.
And it takes documentaries like this to actually shine light on this. I feel like we've been hearing this saga for the last 20 years, and like nothing I feel like has been done, very minimal. So, I'm just very interested to see if there's anything legal that comes out of this in terms of, this documentary. So, because it shines light on, the people that are victims of these, of this. So, hoping for the best.
Hoping for the best. We'll definitely keep you up to date with this story. Jason, what's next?
Okay. Next, let's queer up religion. United Methodists ending all anti-gay issues in the church deemed revolutionary for faith. The Methodist Church is the fourth largest denomination in America. In a short span, United Methodist delegates swiftly overturned decades-long prohibitions on gay clergy and same-sex marriages with their denomination. However, Reverend Effie McAvoy, when questioned about the rapid pace of these changes during a news conference, offered a more nuanced perspective. She remarked, "Oh, it didn't happen overnight, dear." McAvoy, who serves as the pastor of the Shepard of the Valley United Methodist Church in Hope, Rhode Island, emphasized that this shift was the culmination of years of activism. She described it as a so very healing transformation, expressing gratitude for being part of this historic moment as a member of the Queer Delegate Caucus at the recent UMC General Conference in Charlotte. The reversal signaled the conclusion of 50 years of monumental struggles and schisms concerning LGBTQ plus inclusion, not just within the United Methodist Church, but across mainstream Protestant denominations in the United States. The largest faith-based organizations in the country, including Methodist, Presbyterian, Episcopal, and Lutheran denominations, have all eliminated obstacles to LGBTQ plus involvement in church leadership and worship. However, this shift occurs against a backdrop of ongoing declines in membership and influence within these denominations. Certainly, there are skirmishes yet to unfold. Individual congregations and entire regions within the world will sort out these implications. Controversies have emerged within certain conservative evangelical churches and colleges. However, for mainline Protestants, the recent General Conference appears to be a significant milestone that will likely have continued dramatic effects on religion in America. As always, one step forward, sometimes two steps back. In this case, there were, about 7,000 churches that decided, maybe I'm not going to be a part of this denomination, and we're gonna take a step back, and we're not gonna align ourselves with the Methodists on this. But I'm glad to see that as a group, apparently 90% of the people who participated in that vote, voted in favor of this resolution. So what a relief to see that we're actually making progress in making those that are part of the faith feel as though they don't have to they don't have to hide, they don't have to pretend in order to be aligned with what their forebearers were aligned with religiously.
We're everywhere. We're everywhere, right? We're cops, we're firemen, we're lawyers, right? We're clergy, right? These poor people, they have dedicated their lives to their faith, right? And completely closed themselves off in doing so. Did you see the tears of joy in some of these clergymen?
It was incredible.
Yeah. That's just incredible. Does anybody at this table think that maybe the Catholics will follow suit?
I mean, I was raised Catholic, no longer, but the Catholic Church, and I as we talked before, Pope Francis has tried to bring a little change. I mean, as slow as may be, but a little change in social issues, right? But unfortunately for the Catholic Church, all their base comes from Latin America, Asia, and Africa.
That's where their real growth is, right?
That's right. That's where the growth is, because in the first world countries is diminishing, and they're not getting their base from this country. So, and those countries are not going to allow it. No. So that kind of change, unfortunately, it's not going to come from the Catholic Church.
I think that'll be a multi-generational change.
Right.
It won't happen in our lifetime.
I'd be shocked if it happened in our lifetime.
Jacqueline?
No, I'm thinking, in 99, I remember this coming into my radar, and here we are, 2024, and it's finally happening. That's how long it took from that part. And it seems like, from what we've heard, the conversation began 50 years ago. So it takes a long time.
You know, I saw
kind of create that kind of change.
I saw a documentary about Gene Robinson, you know, the Archbishop of the Episcopal Church, and when he was, appointed to Archbishop, and how, you know, how life-changing, and, you know, you thought it was going to continue. And then there were other gay people in their congregation that now, men and women, that now have very important positions in the church. You know, and you would think that, you know, this is contagious and everybody else will, you know, start adopting
Doing
this
the same.
change.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's not that fast.
Yeah.
Well, you know, so this didn't happen overnight, and they will continue to fight, okay? And we will send good energies and kudos to all those people that have, those are the heroes, right? They're the unsung heroes, the ones that have been fighting the last 50 years and are alive to see this drastic change happen.
Yep.
Right? Miss Jacqueline, what's next?
Judy Shepard wins Presidential Medal of Freedom in advance of Master Chorale Matthew Shepard concert. In a well-deserved acknowledgement, President Biden presented Judy Shepard the Presidential Medal of Freedom. This prestigious award honors individuals who have made remarkable contributions to the advancement of American prosperity, values, or security, as well as global peace or other significant societal, public, or private pursuits. The impact of the Matthew Shepard Foundation resonates deeply, extending far beyond its founders and into the hearts of countless individuals with LGBTQ plus loved ones. Judy and Dennis initiated this organization following the tragic passing of Matthew in 1998 due to a brutal anti-LGBTQ plus attack in Wyoming. Matthew's untimely death became a pivotal juncture, igniting a global movement against LGBTQ plus discrimination and violence. Judy's unwavering dedication remains indispensable in combating ongoing hatred and prejudice, underscoring the enduring necessity of her leadership within our community. Judy and the foundation played an important role in the enactment of the Matthew Shepard Hate Crimes Prevention Act in 2009. Since 2017, the foundation has organized hate crime training sessions benefiting over 1,000 law enforcement officers and 76 prosecutors. Additionally, it has initiated dialogues on hate and inclusivity within global communities and assembled a wide range of resources to support the enduring impact of the Laramie Project and similar artistic initiatives influenced by Matthew's story. This story comes to our home of the Happening Out television studios, as the Sunshine Cathedral Center for the Performing Arts will host the Master Chorale for their Pride Month concert considering Matthew Shepard. The powerful performance will include news reports and integrated narrative of the events that led up to what followed his murder that changed LGBTQ plus America. Know more about the foundation and its programs at MatthewShepard.org. You can get more information on considering Matthew Shepard a Master Chorale South Florida at MasterChoraleSouthFlorida.org. You know, I remember when the story happened, with that moment where we all learned about this horrific situation. And I think it was one of the turning points where people started to feel the pain and relate to how could something like this happen to someone and to their child, to a family, to a young person, for just being themselves. And I get goosebumps just thinking about it right now.
Me too. That was in October of 1998. I will never forget that when that happened. I had just moved to the U.S. like 3 years prior. I never thought things like that would happen in the U.S. Never in a million years will we think about the U.S. as being such a, I mean, in Latin America, had been such a advanced, progressive place, and something like this happening to this kid, and the way it did, the cruelty that happened, you know, to him,
the hate.
And that Judy and his dad have, you know, turned this into big time activism for our community is phenomenal. I'm so in awe with them, what they have done to this, and it's needed. You know, we just had this situation, you know, like a couple of weeks ago in Miami Beach, in front of the city beach,
Andrea dos Passos.
That's right. And, you know, in the morning, and then she was killed by this guy. in the middle of Miami Beach.
Yeah.
So this is not over. 1998, and now we're in 2024, and we're still dealing
and not
with
a lot has changed, you know. I remember, and I remember this also. I was a kid, right? But I remember seeing this story because the story was everywhere, right? And that was unheard of for a gay story, right?
Yeah.
And I remember reading this story and making a decision to go back into the closet at that moment, just because I was scared for my life, you know.
I was
seeing a kid that is of white skin,
yeah.
right, being murdered for being gay, scared the living lights out of me enough to go back into the closet.
I mean, I was newly out myself. So, you know, this was like very pivotal years for myself because I come from a predominantly Republican family up in New Jersey. So, you know, as being the only gay person that's out, in a very large family, it was always very fearful for me, that, you know, I would possibly succumb to that type of fate. So, you know, I had a lot of, you know, reinforcement of that, you know, where it was like, you know, you have to be very careful when you're out and you have to be doing, you know, so I remember just that where that the core of that fear started to set in around that. So, but, you know, I got to meet Judy Shepard a few years later at a convention, and she was speaking about the Matthew Shepard Foundation, and she's such a remarkable woman.
She is.
And I'll tell you, you know, you when you hear the story and when she talks very personal to you, it's like your mom talking to you. And I just really appreciate, you know, all the years and the dedication she has for this.
It's been a crusade, really, you know, the good of the many versus the good of the few. She sacrificed her life, whatever path it was on. From the moment that happened, everything changed.
Right.
Like,
where do you find that strength, right? Like, the world has just taken away your child. How do you find the strength to fight back and start this foundation that's so important, right? Hate crimes training. Who would have thought in a million years that we would need that, right? It's so needed, you know? So President Kennedy established this Medal of Honor 61 years ago, and I can't think of anybody more deserving than Judy Shepard. So what's next, Edward?
Oh, yes. Next, we are proud of our special partnership with Sunshine Cathedral, the world's largest queer church here in Fort Lauderdale. Supporting that partnership, we are broadcasting from our permanent set here at Sunshine Cathedral at the Happening Out television studios. We broadcast Sunshine Cathedral's Sunday International Service at 10:30 a.m.
That is today's news for the LGBTQ plus community on the world's first and only daily LGBTQ plus evening news show.
If our community is important to you, share this news with your family and friends. Are you, like most of America, part of a very large television audience watching this live LGBTQ plus news broadcast right now on Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and Amazon Fire TV?
Queer News Tonight is the only live LGBTQ plus digital television show in the world that is out of the closet and into the headlines. We need your support. If our community is to grow, we must tell our stories and bring them to the attention of the broader world.
This is the only place in the world that tells these types of LGBTQ plus stories in motion and sound. That is the passion of Hotspots Magazine. Happening Out Television Network, and Queer News Tonight.
I'm your anchor, FayWhat, and on behalf of these LGBTQ plus reporters, the anchors of Queer News Tonight, including Dino Mosquera, Edward Otto Zielke, Jason Gad, Jacqueline Lorber, we will see you daily at 8 p.m. And to our LGBTQ plus world, we wish you good night.
Good night.